in this day and age wherein the technology is really fast-paced, it's
Mm.
very difficult because you might wake up one day and then you're suddenly disrupted. You don't have the business anymore,
Mm.
right? Because somebody took away your business using a new
Mm.
technology that you could have used, but just ignored it or too afraid to try it or don't even know about it because you're not curious what's new and what's upcoming in the business world.
If there were a way for you to dominate business in the year 2024 and beyond, would you like to know how? Our guest for today is strategically placed to tell us how that can happen. Here to tell us more is none other than our guest for episode 9, Jerry Ilao. Jerry?
Yeah, thank you so much, Dino, for having me this afternoon.
Very welcome.
I'm very glad to be here and excited to share the 5 strategies that consultants, speakers can use to dominate 2024 and beyond.
Jerry, could you please tell our guests? I'm sure they're dying to know more about you.
Yeah, so I used to be an employee, so pretty much like many entrepreneurs probably, started working for a multinational company for 7 years. Then I got this itch of starting my own business and doing my own thing and have a more freedom for myself and my family. So I
Mm-mm.
started doing various businesses, a
Mhm.
boutique, car wash business, a restaurant business, and then they all failed. So I failed not once, not twice, but thrice already. And then
Mm.
in the process, I was about to give up, but then I said to myself, pasasaan ba't tatamaan ko rin yan? So in my fourth attempt in business, that's when I made it. I created an ink refilling business way back in 2005. And we were able to grow from one branches to several branches, one employee to hundreds of employees.
Mm.
And that's when I started this whole company. And then now we are more focused as a technology company. So
Mm.
we have an online learning company as well as a digital transformation company.
Oh, that's awesome. Jerry, as you made the transition from being an employee to becoming an entrepreneur and wow, able to employ hundreds of people, was it an easy journey for you? Because you did mention you had some failures along the way. How did you get out of the slump? Because most people would get discouraged. They'd go into depression. They'd say, I don't want to do it again. Why do I have to put myself through that? So tell us about how that happened from the failures to where you are.
Yeah, so in my first 3 businesses, I lost around 1 million pesos from my own personal savings. So it was really tough. I There were nights where I really want to give up. But then I said to myself, like, if I don't give up, if I give up, then paano na? My dream of having a better future for my family, having more time for myself and for my family, paano na yon? So I think that dream of becoming an entrepreneur is bigger than the challenges that I encountered. So I kept on pushing. Sabi ko, pasasan pa tatamaan ko rin yan. And
Mm.
luckily, when I saw this ink business that has a potential of growing. That time there were the printer inks were still very, very expensive. So that was an opportune time for me to come in. And I started it doing renting just a small space from in Green Hills, and then it suddenly exploded. So I was very, very happy to do that, to be able to expand the business, help many employees, many people along the way. And of course, growing the business also has its different set of challenges. But then in 2012, me and my wife realized the shift that's happening. Mobile phones are getting very popular. It's becoming digital. So we said that we want to get into that business.
Mm.
want to do technology. So that's when we started our other company.
Mm.
And in 2019, it was actually a momentous event on our end because we donated our first company, the ink business, to our employees. So we don't own the business anymore. There's still a few branches in SM malls now for our ink business, but we don't own it anymore. It's now owned by our employees who have helped us through those years. So they are the ones managing the ink business now, and we're focusing on our two companies, the online learning and then the digital transformation company. So it was a hell of a ride.
It sure sounds like it because when you put up that other business, you put it up in 2019, which, as we all know, was when COVID hit,
Yeah.
and it gave us the 1-2. So many businesses shut down and closed up. So just as you were getting started, the pandemic hit. Interesting that you had that spark, that inspiration to go into that, to write programs, to go into software and technology. But because of your story, I'm now very curious to ask you, how
Mm.
did it happen for you?
Yeah, during that time I was still single when I started the ink business, my fourth business. But I already saw the writings on the wall.
Mm,
I've talked to many of my colleagues in that company, and then I see how I was asking myself, is there an alternative way of providing financial support and for my family without getting to this corporate world wherein you don't really have that much freedom in a way. So I was preparing. So because of that, I was already looking for alternatives, and I saw that during that time, being in business or being an entrepreneur is a way to go, is the way to go. And it was, I think, much harder that time because there were no mentors, there were no, like,
yeah.
YouTube was not
Mm,
there yet. So you want to learn entrepreneurship, it's really hard. My father was a government employee, my mother was a teacher, so I really don't have any mentor that
mm,
time. So I have to learn it on my own, do mistakes, encounter mistakes, and then tweak it, and then move on and learn from it.
mm.
So yeah.
You know what? One of the things that really strikes me about your story is one word: magnanimity. Imagine letting your employees inherit the company, the ink business, possibly as a reward or out of a sense of gratitude. Does that fall into one of your strategies for succeeding in business?
Hmm. Yeah. So the reason was twofold. So
Mm-mm.
the reason why we donated it is first and foremost to reward our employees. They've been helping us, I think by the time 15 years,
Mm.
uh,
Wow.
in the company, growing the
Yeah.
company. So I think it's one way for us to give back to them. So that's the first one. The second one is we really want to focus.
Mm.
Our kids are growing
Mm.
at time 2019, 2020, and managing like three companies, we said might be not ideal for
Yeah.
us. I mean, we don't want to be the what they call this, the richest man in the Philippines or whatever. We just need to provide enough for our future, etc. And we had to be choiceful such that we said that we just want to focus on the two other companies,
Mm.
so that we can, the extra time we have, we can even provide more for our kids who are growing.
Mm.
And in the process, we'll be able to help our Mancom um, uh, managers that time to really start their own business. And I mean, it's very fulfilling because 1 year after doing that, we met, and then some of them were able to buy a car, some of them
Wow.
were able to like finish their houses.
Mm.
So it's really fulfilling to see that that business that we somehow gave to them, donated to them, we're able to uh, help them financially.
Mm. So now we come to the crux of the show and the whole um, purpose for it, which is to have strategies from Jerry. And I do love the name because Ilao means light. So here
Yes.
to shed some light on how we can overcome the adversities that we are currently facing in 2024. Jerry, do tell us about some of those strategies to help us overcome 2024 and beyond.
Yes. So I did this talk for speakers and consultants, and they really resonated with the framework that I've created. So it's a begin framework.
Mhm.
So BEGIN framework. And so those are the five strategies. I'll break it down one by one. But basically, why begin? Because I think most of us are still in the old traditional world, like physical products, etc. We're not exploring the other possibilities like maybe using AI, using um, digital products, etc., to really boost our business, especially if we are a speaker or consultants. Now, I've been a what do you call that? A lifelong learner. I had to learn everything from scratch. As I've mentioned, I don't have a entrepreneur background. So one of my passions really is learning marketing. So how it evolved to digital marketing and now with AI, etc. So I've also seen how it helped a lot of people, those who embrace new technology in terms of promoting their business. So that's where I'm coming from. The begin framework is just basically for the audience to begin utilizing the tools, the digital tools that we have now. So the begin framework is the B is basically what we call brand your work. Okay, so I've seen that many authors, speakers are using many of the foreign frameworks, etc. But they have their own idea, they have their own framework, but they don't brand it, which is,
Mhm.
I think, a lost opportunity. We should be able to brand it well, whatever we do. So that's the first one. I'll go through the begin framework first, and then I'll talk about individually and explain it a bit more. So that's letter B. And then the E is expand to digital products. So now we're, in the digital world, we all know that. So many consultants or authors or speakers don't have digital products like courses, etc. And that's a huge opportunity that they are leaving on the table. So better if we are able to expand our digital products. And then third one is to grow your reputation online. Um, it's everything's online now. Even when
Yes.
we do shop in the famous e-commerce stores, we look at reviews. So how
Mhm.
about your reviews for your company? So we should
Mhm.
be able to grow our reputation using those reviews. And then the fourth one is being able to integrate. The I is being able to integrate an ecosystem. I think we're seeing this in many apps as well.
Mhm.
Before there are people are so excited to like download many apps
Yes.
because they don't have any app on their phone way back in 2008, 2009, 2010. But now it's turning into a mega app,
Yeah.
right? Grab, for example, you can do delivery, you can do food, you can do other things. So I think as also as consultants, as speakers, we should be able to integrate an ecosystem at our back end and be able to offer that to our clients. That will make our whole proposition more valuable to them. And then the last is the N is to network effectively. I think
Mhm.
as entrepreneurs, as speakers, as consultants, we should be able to grow our network and grow our clientele by networking effectively. And I'll give some tips on how you can do that. So that's the whole overview of the five strategies, the begin framework. So um, that's branding your work, expanding to digital products, growing your reputation online, and then the I is integrating an ecosystem, and then the N would be networking effectively.
Mm. Great, great acronym because it's easy to remember. Branding, it seems, is more important than people really realize.
Yeah.
For you, how has it helped you personally? Branding yourself such that you stand out among the so many that are out there.
Yeah, my story actually goes back to the ink business. It's
Mm.
called Ink All You Can. So
Okay,
that's the
I
whole
know
brand.
that.
Ink
Yeah.
All You Can. So when I started my business, many the advice that I got is we should provide if you want to brand your business
Mm.
or what you are selling, you should put what you are selling in that brand name so that people already know what you are selling. So I said, I'm selling ink, so I should put ink and then all you can because somehow it's unlimited. So ink all you can. I thought it was gonna be a big hit, a very catchy brand, but
Mm-mm.
realized later that I should have done it very differently. So because I put ink and all you can, it's also very long. What happened was even after years of knowing us, our client call us by different names. Uh,
Ah,
and some just call us ink.
okay.
Don't want to uh, because the ink all you can is too long. And then
Mm.
also there's a lot of competitors like Inkmore, Inkman, etc. And suddenly we don't stand out anymore. And in fact, one of my like a close friend told me, "Oh, so how's Ink All the Way?" I said, "Ink All the Way? Is it jingle all the way like
Oh
Christmas?"
my
So
goodness.
I realized that it doesn't stick.
Ah.
So I learned from that mistake. Now I'm very conscious when it comes to branding. So everything
Mm-mm.
we brand. So one of the examples is in our tech company, we have a feature called that our mobile app syncs to the web when there's internet, but
Okay.
it also works offline. But of
Oh.
course, if you say that our app works offline when there's internet, it syncs to the web automatically. Doesn't sound sexy, right?
Right.
So we created a brand for it. We called it Swabble. So it's sync when able. So Swabble technology. And we created our own logo for it, and then suddenly it becomes sexier. So the same
Mm.
thing with our ink business. We created our ink precision technology, and
Mm-mm.
then put a trademark for it, because what we realized is during that time when we were selling inks, we said our inks are high quality inks.
Mm.
It's more like generic high quality inks, right? And then a few weeks after, our competitor is also using that word. We use high quality ink. So it doesn't
Oh.
differentiate us anymore.
Mm.
So because of that, we created what we call um, reason to believe. It's
Mm.
something that we learned from the multinational company that we work for. It says that we should brand something and give a reason why consumers or customers should believe in what we are
Mm.
saying. So, for example, in our ink business, we are saying that our ink is high quality, so we should provide a reason why it's high quality. What's the technology behind it?
Mm.
And why should people believe you? So that's why we created that ink precision technology and applied for trademark. So ever since we are conscious when it comes to branding, not just the main product, but also the features, the important features of our products. That way, we can easily differentiate from competitors.
Well, you know what? Now I can't take it out of my head. because Swabble sounds so much like Scrabble.
Yes.
And everybody knows Scrabble. So now when I think about, okay, what is Jerry's business? Oh yeah, he has an app or a program called Swabble. So now I'll associate it quickly with you. So you're right, no? Parang it's becoming apparent to me based on what you're sharing that it has to be something that you can say possibly in just one word.
Yes.
It should be something that stands out and create value for the product that you are promoting. So,
Yes.
because you're right, everybody will say their thing is high quality. People
Yes.
can make claims like that all the time, but for them to believe, now that's a different story. And so, thank you for sharing that. Okay,
Yes.
moving on, we go with the E.
Yes. So expand to digital products. So
Mm,
very important if you're a thought leader, if you're a consultant, etc. You should create digital products
mm,
that can include maybe books or that can include courses.
mm,
So courses now sells in the internet, and then the beauty about it is you don't have to if you've been doing trainings, for
mm,
example. It's very time consuming for you and also physically exhausting. Like if
yeah.
you're traveling all around the Philippines to do training, it can be physically demanding. But if you just create an online course and then distribute it across the Philippines or maybe even abroad, right? You tap on that market. And for those people who are not familiar with it, they might say, who will buy a digital course, etc. But I know a lot of entrepreneurs who earn millions of pesos
Mm,
doing uh, doing online courses only. So it
mm.
can be really, really profitable, especially if you have your audience, you're a thought leader. So creating online courses can be a good strategy for you.
I agree. Before the pandemic, we once approached a business process outsourcing company, massive BPO, and then they posed us a question that caught us off guard back then. The HR person said, "Do you have asymmetrical learning?" And we were tongue tied back in the day because we couldn't say yes. We wanted to, but we couldn't say yes. And she said, "Well, you know what? Because we have 30,000 employees." And the mandate here in our office is for none of them to undergo training during office hours. So they learn on their own time. And they do that with asymmetrical training because even if it's just inexpensive, say like 250
Yes,
for the short course, but if all 30,000 of them take it, that's still a decent,
substantial.
yeah. And so I think this was during 2017 when we were asked that question. And so you're saying for our viewers to try that, to move in that direction and not to hesitate because so many people are afraid of technology.
Yeah.
They're so mistrustful of it. They don't trust what they don't know. What advice can you tell people who are afraid of technology or afraid to try? Because you taught yourself.
Yeah. Yeah. So first and foremost, yeah, you have YouTube now, right? So you
Yeah.
can learn anything basically, and you have AI as well. So you can
Mm,
learn anything if you just put your mind and time on it. So
mm,
there's nothing to be afraid of. It's not something that cannot be learned.
mm,
It's something that can easily be learned if you just
mm,
put your mind and heart into it. And the other thing is, this is also the reason why I believe in that in that concept very much. That's why our company Olern is creating online courses, and we
mm,
make it very easy for consultants by take removing all the tech stuffs from the things they have to worry, so they can just focus on the content. We do record, we edit the videos, their courses, and
mm,
then we upload it in our system, so they don't have to worry about it. So that's also another option. Partner with maybe Uller
mm,
or maybe another company that can
mm,
help you with creating those online courses so you don't have to worry about it. But net, it's something that you have to explore. It can be the the sales funnel, right? So it can
Yes.
be a great opening for people to try out your expertise, etc., without much investment yet. And then, if what I always say, if they like the training and they have the extra capacity, of course, the extra resources, they would want to maybe hire you for one-on-one consulting or in-house company training, etc. So it opens a lot of doors when you create those online courses.
Uh, I think your advice comes at the cusp of something really interesting that's happening in our world now, and that's artificial intelligence. Because if you happen to be a bit camera shy or conscious of your voice, there are there are programs now that will let you borrow the voice of Morgan Freeman, for example.
Yes, yes. I've
And
seen.
'di ba? Those ads come out in FB all the time now. If you don't like the way you look, you can do what one of our guests, Ariane Sims, talked about. Become your own AI superhero. So you can suddenly wear the skin that makes you look like an MCU character. So it seems to me, Jerry, that one of the key ingredients that got you through this and helped you to succeed is you were very curious. You were curious and you gave it the time it needed. Would you agree that those were the things that helped you move forward?
Yeah, definitely, definitely. So it has become, I think, my pastime to really check out what's new, what's
Mm,
out there. And I think as entrepreneur, it really helps because it can be tempting
mm,
to just, as they say, sit on your laurels and then just relax. But
mm,
in this day and age wherein the technology is really fast paced, it's
mm,
very difficult because you might wake up one day and then you're suddenly disrupted. You don't have the business anymore,
mm,
right? Because somebody took away your business using a new
mm.
technology that you could have used, but just ignored it or too afraid to try it or don't even know about it because you're not curious what's new and what's upcoming in the business world.
True. He who dares wins. And from the way I've been hearing your story, you have dared so many times. Even though sometimes it flops, you get up anyway, and you continue, you move forward. So, Jerry, moving on to the third part of begin. How
Yeah.
does that help our viewers, have a better chance at overcoming the obstacles in 2024?
Yes. So the third strategy is G, or grow your reputation online. Now,
Mm,
it's very important. As I've said earlier, now we're moving everything online. So it's very important that you have Google reviews there. So one of our mistakes before for Olern is we got a lot of reviews, hundreds of reviews, very good reviews, but they are on paper.
oh,
Now I cannot use it because I mean I don't even know where they are. So very important that you put your reviews online. That's
mm,
also something that we're doing for other company, Tarki, the digital transformation company. So we're asking our clients to put their reviews. We're interviewing them,
mm,
doing testimonials, etc. And it really helps. It's something that you when other people look at you and they'll feel more comfortable knowing that somehow you're doing your part. And that's um, often the case, right? We're doing
mm,
our part, we're doing everything we can for our client. It's just that nobody knows it because we don't have reviews,
mm,
we're not, I mean, promoting it, those clients on our website. And it's, no, sayang, sobrang sayang. So,
mm,
what I realized this when we went to Vietnam, when we we tried to walk, I think, more than a kilometer just to try this restaurant who has 6,000 reviews, almost five-star reviews. So it got us curious. When we tried it, it's good, but not that different from the other restaurants that we tried who has only 500 reviews. So bakit madaming customers yung 6,000 and people are trying it out? That's because of the online review. Not necessarily they have the best products, but they're just good in terms of getting reviews and promoting themselves online.
So, in other words, testimonials are so
Okay.
powerful. They get people to try to visit. Kahit na siguro malayo pa yun, dahil nilakad nyo nga eh.
And when you get the testimonials, make sure na evergreen siya. Yun yung failure ko nga last time is the
Mm,
testimonials but it's on paper, it's somewhere na hindi ko na alam kung saan. So dapat sana
mm.
nasa Google, 'di ba? Para kahit na 10 years after it's still there. People can
Correct, correct. Because paper can be accidentally thrown away, or they can get wet whenever we have floods, and then you have them sticking together. Speaking of reviews, shameless plug. I'm reading this book given to me by one of our guests, Monica Maralit, is Becoming Sheroes, and I promised that I would do a review. Least I can do for her being one of our guests. Um, so yes, part of begin is also getting people to react to your service, to your company, and putting a review, or getting them harvesting their reactions to it. Those are wonderful bits of advice, because so many people don't know how to leverage that. You're right. Kulang yung isulat lang sa papel. Mas maganda online kasi that's forever. Yeah. So now we go to letter E
Yeah, the
for
I
sorry,
for
the I for begin.
integrator. Yeah.
Yeah.
So integrate an ecosystem. So if you are like a consultant, etc.
Mm-mm.
So that we all know that getting the client is the hardest, right?
Yes.
Marketing, they all say that getting a new customer, getting new client is 7 times or 10 times more expensive than
Mm-mm.
obtaining a new one, etc. So once we get the client's trust, we should be able to easily like offer other things. I call
Mm-mm.
this the back end. So we sell our service, but
Mm-mm.
after that, it's wise to sell other things like the back end products. So if you are a
Mm-mm.
consultant, maybe you can partner with a software company. Because many of the consultants that we've talked to, they said, "Oh, we want to do this, want to do that, etc." To their client, and then the client, "Yeah, I want to do that. Do you have a software or do you have a company that you can recommend?" And then the meme as wala. Sayang. So
Mm.
it also provides value if you're into like an HR consultant, right? Maybe you can have recommend a payroll system, a time in time out
Yeah.
system. If you are a um, inventory or sales
Mm-mm.
consultant, maybe you can have a Salesforce automation software or inventory management system, etc.
Mm.
And that can provide added value to your client, but at the same time, you can depends on your agreement. You can also have like what we call it, a referral fee from
Mm.
those software companies, because normally software companies are willing to give referral fees to their client. You just open the door for them. That way, you maximize the value that you have to your clients. You provide added value because you're not just a consultant, but you have an ecosystem at your back end.
Mm.
Kailangan mo ng payroll system, eto.
Mm.
Kailangan mo ng time out system, time in time out system, eto. Kailangan mo ng Salesforce automation software, meron din akong kakilala. And the key thing lang is you validate and you vet on those companies. Kasi syempre, mahirap kung mapahiya ka.
Mm.
Uh, and kumpalpak yung mga services nila. So you do that extra work, you bet on them, etc. You try it out na okay ba talaga nakakatulong. And that's an added value to your client, because otherwise they have to do that search and then testing every supplier, and that takes time, etc. So ikaw, meron ka ng parang recommended solution. and integrating that ecosystem can provide better value for your clients, as well as additional income then for you.
You know that's true because so many companies are into what they call now real-time data updates. Tama yung sinabi mo. What if you have a warehousing business or you are in charge of inventory control? Of course, you'd need to know in real time what your slow moving, what your fast moving items are so that your reorder point is easier to figure out and you maximize your capital, lower your costs, lower your losses, and you can even practice the kaban, just in time
Yes.
model for business. So you keep your costs low and your revenue high. Pero tama rin yung sinabi mo. Like, if we don't vet a program or a provider well, it could also boomerang on us. So for our viewers, please heed what Jenny just shared because it's so easy to promote a program.
Yeah.
It's so easy to promote an app,
Mhm.
but make sure it does work.
Yeah.
So, totoong-totoo yan sinasabi mo na by all means, have the ecosystem, have the opportunity to upsell. I think that's
Yeah.
a good word to use for it. So
Yeah.
that for your clients, you remain top of mind
Yeah.
because they don't just remember you for what you did, this one thing that you did, but they're thinking that you can do other things for
Yeah.
them.
And if I may add lang, Dino, no?
Yeah,
So
please.
we don't do that. Parang yung defaults are the big companies, I mean the foreign companies, softwares, etc. But I'd also like to highlight that there are also good companies locally. And
Mm.
yun, I believe that kami, we're doing our best. Di ba? We're local company, but we're helping clients. And the beauty about helping local companies is, di ba, tayo-tayo, sino ba naman magtutulungan kundi tayo-tayo lang. And then the second thing is in terms of response time, in terms of customization,
Oh,
we're
yeah.
more responsive, right? We can customize things because we understand the
Mm.
situation here in the Philippines. Madali lang kaming kausap, di ba? Walang hindi different time zones,
Mm.
hindi kailangan mag-English. So, kaya yung sa mga consultants, yeah, I'd like to encourage them as well to look out kung meron lang din naman na Filipino company. Tama
Mm.
na yung ano, kumbaga, sad to say, di ba, dating colonial mentality. Tama. So, if
Mm.
meron lang din dito, explore. Baka merong local company who can deliver that. And yun yung promote natin. Tinutulungan natin yung kapwa Pilipino.
We have local engineers. If
Yeah.
they use the same tools, they can do just as well as
Yeah.
those
And
guys.
ang iba nga doon, di ba, yung mga engineers ng ibang foreign company are also Filipinos.
Yun na nga.
Di
Yun
ba?
na nga. The irony of it.
Mas mahal pa
So,
pumunta doon at bumalik yung service, etc.
if you want to succeed in 2024 and beyond, do heed Jerry's word. Patronize our local talent because they're out there, just like Jerry. And I suppose the company Olern, that's one of the new ones that you put up, right?
Yeah. So that's the second company that we have. So one is Clarity. It's a digital transformation company. So we digitize all form. It when you have we specialize in field employees. So if your
Oh,
field employees are doing various forms, audit forms, inventory forms, store check forms in the field, we can digitize all of that. You can also monitor your field employees kung
oh,
nasaan
that's
na ngayon,
good.
or service crew kung napuntahan na ba si ganitong client, etc.
Oh, GPS.
GPS, and that's also time in, time out. Kasi Dino,
Mm.
for field employees, maraming mga inefficiencies. Some of our
Mm.
clients before, pumupunta pa yung mga field employees sa store, I mean sa office, magbabandi clock, magta-time in, saka pupunta sa
Ah.
because of course, di mo mahirap i-monitor, nandun na ba sila, late pa sila, etc. But with our app, they can do the time in, time out on their phone and directly go to the client. So, ang daming natipid oras at pamasahe. So, that's
Mm.
our first tech company, that's Starkey, and then the other one is an online learning company, which is ayan, Olern.
Yung Olern, yeah. Okay. What you're sharing is really going to help so many businesses reduce their losses.
Ang
Um,
daming horror stories.
ay,
May
totoo
may
yan.
clients kami na natapos na yung delivery ng 4 PM, pagkatapos ang nangyayari is yung driver natutulog sa isang kanto until
What?
8 PM. Tapos ako magta-type in sa warehouse. So, nakatulog na, may overtime pa. So,
What?
uh, it's disheartening.
Yes.
So we also need to realize to accept that it's happening. So
Mm.
we believe in kumbaga putting in the controls
Mm.
to keep the employees stay good, not to catch employees but to make the good employees stay good, because no
Yeah.
matter how good the employees are, kung sakaling walang process in place, kung ang daming temptation doon.
Yes.
So, bibigay din, 'di ba?
Mm.
One way or another. So, we put the proper controls in place using apps, using the processes that we have
Mm.
para hindi sila matempt. And
Yeah.
yan, it's a loss-loss situation. Nawala ng trabaho yung empleyado at ikaw din, disrupted yung operation because nawala ka
Mm.
ng trabaho. So, kaya yan, we're really keen on promoting controls in businesses and in companies.
That's good because a long time ago, even cargo forwarding companies, they already developed this system whereby instead of calling every now and then, nasaan na ba yung shipment ko?
Yes.
Ganyan. You have the app on your phone. You can tell where it is in transit. No, so this way, employees are motivated to stay honest because software knows where they are, and they don't have to explain that they were caught in traffic. You can
Yes.
see that they're in traffic.
Yes.
So,
Yeah.
hindi na mahirap magpaliwanag kaya ako late, sir, kasi po naipit po kami sa SLEX, South Super Slow. So,
Yeah.
now we come to the letter N of begin, networking, and
Yes.
I am such a
Networking.
big believer of that. But the question
Also,
is, what kind of networking, Jerry?
yeah. So ito parang na-discover ko accidentally. I call it the cross market networking.
Mm.
So I'm into business and logical na, 'di ba? Magjo-join tayo ng association related to business or related to marketing, maybe where your clients are or maybe potential partners are. And then last year I joined an association, kumbaga I joined a group na different naman. It's about permaculture, which is promoting efficient use of our resources, earth, etc. So para
Mm.
siyang organic farming, subset ng organic farming yung permaculture. So I met different people there na who are into preserving the environment, 'di ba?
Mm.
And being healthy, etc. And I realized na yung network na yon is very valuable, diverse people that can also help uh, yung mga like me and other people. So I think one good way to really expand your network is join the associations, but not just the associations that are directly related to your
Mm.
profession. Explore other associations na baka nandun din yung ibang clients mo, ibang potential partners. And I think um, in relation to that, very important then, of course, is to provide value.
Mm.
Kasi syempre, when we network, it's about giving value to them before we ask anything, if we need to ask. So I always like this quote that you have to dig your well way before you are thirsty. So it's
Mm.
not at the point na kailangan mo ng tulong o thirsty ka na, saka pala maghuhukay ng well. So way before you dig the well. So and I think that's how we should approach networking, 'di ba? Provide value, help other people, explore other associations, And in the process, before you realize it, you've expanded your network, and there are many, many more people who are willing to help you in case you need help.
You know, the good thing about that bit of advice is that sometimes being socially responsible isn't at odds with profitability. We see now in industries that companies that go green or pursue being green or having a small carbon footprint are often at the cutting edge of tech. So when that aligns with what you're offering, it means that simply joining the predictable networks like say in our case that would be um, Philippine Society for Training and Development, for example, or that might be People Management Association of the Philippines, or even PMA, the Philippine Marketing Association. There are also others that you can look for that may seem a bit exotic, but they're actually very much aligned with your goal of corporate social responsibility, and you meet clients that you would not have known if you didn't try joining them.
Yeah.
Ganda ng tip na yun. So, it is begin. Ayan. So,
Yeah.
tama yun, no? So, when do we start strategizing for 2024 and beyond? Well, Jerry has given us the answer. Begin now.
Yeah.
So Jerry, um, any upcoming events, anything that you'd like to tell our viewers so that maybe they'll have a chance to meet you and pick your mind some more.
Yeah, we're planning to create an event maybe in June or July. That's for Olern. We want to help coaches, speakers really level up their game and using digital marketing tools. So
Mm-mm.
no definite date yet, but it's something to look forward to. We're definitely going to do it sometime in June and July. And also, if you would like to explore courses, online courses, creating courses, go to www.olern.com.
Mm.
Our vision is inclusive learning. So, Dino, when we talk to many companies and we realize that 90% of them, especially the SMEs, don't have access to quality training. So this is also disheartening on our end. We've been training companies since 2018 for Olern, and we realized na yung mga nat-train namin are managers and entrepreneurs only. So sabi namin, sino yung nagtitrain ng rank and file? And supposedly, di ba, ika-cascade yun ng mga managers, etc. But that doesn't always happen. And we believe that if we really want to help SMEs, we need to train everyone. That's why yung whole vision namin is magaling lahat. So hindi lang iilan, dahil iilan lang na-train, kundi magaling lahat. And yun yung isang hashtag namin is dapat all. Kung merong sana all ngayon, dapat all properly trained. And we want to do that using technology.
Mm.
That's why we're partnering with speakers, consultants. If you're interested, text to really help in this vision of magaling lahat, to check us out. And then the other one is, of course, Starkey, the one that I mentioned. It's it's a Salesforce automation software.
Mm.
Digitize all forms, help companies big and small. So if it's something you're interested in, go to tarkie.com. That's tarkie.com.
Oh,
So
okay.
yeah.
Wow, fantastic. I truly enjoyed having this discussion with you this afternoon. And I'm sure so many of the people who are listening to this, especially if some of them are HR officers or HR managers, alam naman man, pagka maliit yung business, small to medium scale, usually the one person who is in charge of HR is so overworked. Andyan na yung recruitment, andyan na yung training, employee relations, wages and compensation. Pero iisang tao lang gumagawa nun. So, butin lang minsan napapadala ng mga estudyante, so nag-OJT sila, so nakakatulong ng konti. But the things you're offering is really targeted to helping those who are in need of that specific help so that they don't have to worry so much about how do I manage to cascade? How do I manage to train
Yeah.
everyone else below? Totoo
Yeah.
yun. Kasi mostly ang focus nandoon lang sa top or middle portion ng organization.
May mga ready-made trainings kami. So if you're looking for like mental health, leadership, or customer
Mm-mm.
service, sales, marketing, ready-made trainings yon by the consultants and speakers that we vetted. So
Yun.
lalo na kung maliit, yung na walang expertise o kaya walang trainer, wala
Mm.
in-house, pwede yung Olern through our different courses.
Awesome. So, once again, in behalf of my other hosts or co-hosts, we'd like to thank Jerry Ilao for taking time out to be with us today and sharing his begin so that you can have your strategies for succeeding in 2024 and beyond. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you enjoyed what you saw today, do please click on like, share, and subscribe. That would be just awesome. And coming up for episode 10 of our season 16 is none other than Rico Recio, who will be talking about an HR innovator. So, as ever, always remember that learning is a never ending journey with limitless vistas. Good day.